So here we are. Let me first say that this spiritual journey, this spiritual awakening has been of the utmost, most amazing experience of my life. I just completed the Dark Night of the Souls two nights ago, and it was the most painful yet eye-opening, freeing moment of my life. Something totally unexpected. And after the fact, something completely welcomed because I needed to go through it to get to where I'm at now and to unleash what has been within me all this time, the goodness, the positivity, the greatness that I'm meant and bound to do. This is not a test. This is not a joke. I've been getting synchronicity saying that one that resonates most right now. Inevitable change is coming or even needed. Quick change. Get grounded now. Necessary change. Not always comfy. And that was the Dark Night of Souls for me, for my spiritual awakening. Necessary change, inevitable change, because I had already chosen the path before I was fully formed of where I was to walk. As a dear friend of mine put it, path A and path B. My previous life, I was walking path A, doing the things of this world, following the mechanisms and the matrix of this world and what they say is real and isn't real, and what they say is right and isn't right, and how you go about living your life. All of these chains that they put on us, these labels. And I walked in path A for 38 years of my life. But then there was plan B, or path B, which is the divine, the universe, God, in all his glory, and all his wisdom, and all his infinity. I chose path B. Path A had a lover for me, a husband. And so does path B. But the two couldn't be more different. The path A husband speaks and spoke to who I was in path A. The dysfunction, the turmoil, the tainted love. Path B shows me a husband that will love me and cherish me. And he has since reached out since I've gone through this dark night. Out of the blue, unexpectedly, he reached out to me. Just confirmed my path. But I know he's feeling this right now. My divine love, my true divine love. I love you, Ruff. But let me get on to this message. I'm kickstarting my purpose, and I'm keeping the video on these items for a reason. I made a video a little while ago detailing an epiphany that I had regarding my 2020, the year 2020, and the abundance and the prosperity and all the good things that are going to happen to me in the year 2020, and that stands fact. That's still true. In one of my resource materials that I go to a YouTube channel and video, and she did an interactive reading for my 2020. And as previously noted in one of she gave me a master number, or pulled a master number 22, which that signifies that I can create, I can make my dreams into reality. My business, my photography business, all aspects of my creative, to reach out and touch people who have gone through the dark nights that I have been through. That my mind had to realize I was imprisoned in my own mind. I couldn't accept what had been done to me. My own mind kept it from me. But not anymore. Going back, she said, my year 2020, master number 22. As I detailed in that video before, once I saw that video, I was walking to McDonald's. And as I'm walking after listening to that message, I look to the left and I see this card in bright green grass. 2020. Change. Multiplier. 2. My master number. I have 3 dimes here, but 2 of the dimes signify 10, 10, 20. This 3rd dime here, another resource, Neil. I can't remember his full name right now. Let me see if I can get that up real quick, because his name is important. I'll be right with you guys. His name is Neil Donald Walsh. Neil, Neale, Donald Walsh. In one of his videos that I use as a resource as well, this is why this 3rd dime is here. When he speaks of abundance and prosperity, he says, and I just mind you before I continue, as I'm setting up these items on my bed, because I'm setting them up just to look at them at first to reflect, but they are part of this video, meant for this video. But as I set these 2 dimes, because I've had these 2 dimes for a while, and put them in my bag to carry with me as a signifier and a remembrance of the word that I got from that YouTube resource. But going back to Neil Donald Walsh, once I put these 2 dimes here, I found this 3rd dime on the side of my bed. And I put it there because Neil said, if you have 3 dimes, I want you to give 3 dimes to 3 people, homeless people. Because a dime may not be much to you, but to them it's everything. And I resonate with that as I was homeless in Atlanta a little over a year ago. So that I know the significance of what change can do to someone. And do for someone. Change, multiplier. Come on, Spirit, you better speak. So as I look at this setup here, and I reflect on the word from that YouTube video, my 2020, my master number 22, making my dreams into reality, change, the multiplier. I threw these dice before I started this video, the 1, the 2, the 5. You look at this ticket here again, the 1, the 2 with 2 times, the 5. But wait here, there's a 3 right there. 3 dimes. So we're going to go ahead and look at this again. The 1, the 2, the 3, and the 5. Spirit ain't no joke. But then listen here, look. In that resource video about my 2020, the Leo 2020, and my prosperity and abundance that will be within this year. Jesus. My sacral color was orange. This lighter was left by an associate at my crib. The orange lighter. Around that same time frame, maybe within a day or 2. Tell me God isn't good. Then we come over here to my precious Panthro. I bought Panthro a little over a year ago when it took me and my little cousins as a young man's day. We went to the zoo. It was a beautiful day. My back was hurting. It was cold, but I wanted to spend some man time with my cousins to let them know that they have positive male influences in their life. And we went to the zoo and we had a pretty good time, and I need to do that again with them. We had a really good time. And I brought this little panther spoke out to me. And I'm so glad that I bought him. Let me get him sitting upright. But, excuse me. And this feather here that I placed on his forehead like that, it holds significance because one, a recent interactive reading that it was previously recorded, but it spoke to me on today as I first saw it earlier today. And from one of the cards that she pulled a black cat. And normally people see black cat and they're like, oh, bad luck. But immediately when she pulled the card and it said black cat, she said, this is good luck. This is good. And I just now realized a few moments ago before I start this video, I looked over and Panthro was at the spot where I have him sitting in, and it was like he was just looking at me. And I got it. Black cat. Black cat. Black cat. But wait a minute. The white feather. About a week ago or so, I was watching another resource video on the spirit and spiritual awakening and evolving. And they were speaking of one of the signs from the angels, an unmistakable sign from an angel, and she named a couple of things. But the one that stuck out to me was the feather. You'll find a feather somewhere around you where there's no plausible explanation on why there would be a feather. The other night, maybe 3 nights ago, I found this feather on the floor of my bedroom. I have no white birds in my apartment. No white birds around. Surely wasn't that day, not up in my crib. But yet and still there was a feather. And subsequently, and I was going to say incidentally, but it's not coincidentally. It's not a coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. This feather appeared the night before my dark night of soul. And baby, let me tell you about that dark night of souls, because I thought I went through it previously. Maybe what I went through was just a glimpse or a taste of it, but baby, this dark night was real. I found myself after taking a gummy. It was supposed to be a 420 gummy. I was previously had been smoking with an associate, someone who I wouldn't even call a friend, but someone I thought could have been a friend, or, I wouldn't even say something more because I knew, but I had an associate, and he was the one that gave me the gummy. And after a while, I started getting this sensation like I literally felt like I was going to die. And before I continue on that note, I have to say that I've been pulling cards for myself the last couple of days, because yes, I do cartomancy or cartomancy, depending on how you pronounce it. So in place of using tarot cards, I use playing cards, which tarot was birthed from playing cards to my understanding. I may be wrong on that, but the understanding that I have in the history of it, first came the playing cards for cartomancy, then came the tarot. But because I don't have tarot cards, and I've had a deck of this deck of cards for years, even when I was back in Atlanta, I started to learn how to do readings using that, and how these playing cards are lined up with the tarot cards, what cards represent which cards of the tarot deck. Now, there are only 52 playing cards in a playing card deck, 52 to 54. I stand corrected either or, but it's one of them. Tarot, I believe, is 72. Well, again, if I'm wrong, I stand corrected. But I started pulling cards and doing readings. I've done readings for my sisters, friend of theirs, and active, interactive reading with them. I've done readings on people. So let me just say that I had, previous to my Dark Night of Soul, was doing pulling cards, and I have pictures of the spreads that I've done for myself, and they were saying death, physical and spiritual death, things, death, fate, destiny, death, mourning cards, and I was getting them, and it scared me. I became fearful because it's like, okay, am I getting ready to die? Because I did clarifying cards, pull clarifying cards. Is this in regard to me? Yes. Yes, these death cards are implicating me. So this night of my dark night of the souls, after that gummy, and I started feeling the sensations that I began to feel, I literally thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die, and in essence, I did die. The path A me died that night, and path B, was reborn, because I had already chose my path B before I was fully formed. So I was reborn. And this may sound silly to people that this doesn't resonate with, but the ones that this resonates with, it makes total sense. And even for the ones that it doesn't resonate with, it will at some point, because you're hearing this for a reason. It's not by accident that you came across this video, or that you're staying for these 17 minutes and beyond to hear what I have to say. It is for you. So, that night, 2 nights ago from this date, I became so fearful I thought I was gonna die. So I had called the ambulance. And baby, when I tell you I was tripping, I don't want to say tripping, but I was going through it. I was so scared. They came to pick me up in the ambulance. My heart rate was up high. They kept trying to get it down, but I was so fearful. I knew I was dying. I knew I was dying. And I was. That path A me was dying. But I didn't realize it at the time. And I was in my head, and I'm saying to myself, I know this can't be. I know my life can't be over. And then there was a part of me saying, remember your spirituality. Remember your path. And I believe it was that thought that kept me from stroking out, because my heart rate was up there. So I finally get to the hospital, and they put me in a room to go sit and wait. And immediately when they showed me the room that I was going to be in, I was terrified. I saw these 2 men in there, and they terrified me instantly. I couldn't go in that room. I didn't want to go in that room, because there was something in that room that I didn't want to see. And I can tell you now, the men in that room were my ancestors. The minute I stepped into that room, the ancestor behind the curtain started to sing in a tongue that I could only recognize it to be of a New Orleans descent, of a Creole descent. of a bayou descent. And immediately, as he began to sing, I felt this energy come through me. I was terrified. Why are you singing that song? I asked him as I wept. And I couldn't stay in the room. I left and I sat on the floor on the outside, and they said, "Sir, you have to go back into the room." And I know it sounds